So I've been thinking about this question for about a year now, I feel like. If you've followed my channel at all, you've seen how I've gone from topic to topic, style to style, and I haven't quite pegged down exactly what I want this channel to be. I've tried a lot of different things, from challenge videos where Deep Fried Oreo and I got into a head-to-head game dev challenge. I've tried making parodies of videos that I see in the game dev space, which I don't feel like I see a whole lot of out there. Maybe that's for good reason. I feel like they didn't necessarily go over how I was thinking they might. I've seen so many tutorials and devlogs. I've tried the devlog thing too. When I first started, I was making devlogs every day, which is probably not the best idea when you're first starting out. I've seen people make advice videos where they talk through what they think would be the best move as a game dev and talking about their experience in kind of a more free-flowing format. I guess something similar to this. I've seen videos like this where people talk about what they're thinking, what their thought process is as a game developer on YouTube, as YouTubers and game developers. I've seen people like Aramis post a lot of videos kind of like this, where he will just give a little update about what's going on and how he's thinking through things, his thought process, what he's going to do as an indie game developer moving forward, what he's going to do with his game, how he approaches Steam Next Fests. I've seen podcasts. A lot of podcasts have been popping up lately. The Thomas Brush podcast, that's been a really cool resource to watch and listen to. Jonas Tyroller's been doing these long-form interview videos that are akin to podcasts. I find that really helpful personally as a game developer. I watch a lot of these podcasts and kind of those more free-flowing, what am I going to do as a game developer on YouTube kind of videos. And there's my dog. Some people make these kind of philosophy of game development videos as well, like Jonas Tyroller, who's making these videos about the most lucrative way to go about making games so that your game will actually sell and do well in the market, specifically on Steam, but also elsewhere. So what do you post as a game developer? One thing that I feel like I've been learning lately is that YouTube is really for communities to talk about common interests. And it's not a place where you can just sell your game and push marketing in some kind of salesy way. Obviously, people have had a lot of success making devlogs and showing how they make their game, but that's kind of I'll bring you along for the ride kind of a video. And that's something that a community can get invested in, especially if you make that a series or something like that. Whereas if you're just making devlogs to make your game known, people can kind of see that, and I feel like they're not as successful. So that's one thing I kind of want to pivot to, is making videos that are more for a community and that we can kind of nerd out here and talk about game development and talk about video games that are exciting and why they're exciting for game developers, and talking about more like the business side and the strategy and things that go into being a game developer that maybe not everybody talks about. I know there are a lot of game developers that are talking about it now. Dogs, please be quiet. But yeah, I feel like there's just such an overabundance of content creators out there. And I mean, that's cool. It's really neat to hear new voices, and it's cool to even hear some of the same conversations with some of the same people over and over, but with different hosts of podcasts and different content creators working together, essentially. And I found that really helpful. It's brought out different perspectives from some of the same people because they're talking to multiple people. And so I'd like to be more of a voice in the space if possible. And I've been doing this for about almost 4 years now. And I'd love to give some insights on what I've learned over those 4 years and try to give something helpful, give something back rather than just being a consumer all the time. And so because of that, I really do want to reach out and be like, hey, what is interesting to you? I know what interests me as a game developer, and maybe that's kind of a good place to start, what I want to see. But I do want to hear from you guys. So I want to try doing these more like free-flowing, kind of where am I at as a game developer, as a YouTuber kind of videos. Let me know down in the comments if you like these types of videos or what you'd like to see next year. I'm open to ideas. I'm also I've always been thinking about doing some kind of live stream where I make a game live with people. I know a lot of developers do that kind of stuff. If that's something that you'd be interested in watching and hanging out with me sometime, let me know down in the comments. I'm open to making a mix of things. So feel free to let me know what you think is interesting and what you find valuable here on YouTube. And I'll see y'all in 2025.